Everyone, and thank you for attending the meeting. I'm going to call this meeting to order at 7:01 p.m. Tonight we have our elder statesman who will be running at the beginning of tonight's meeting, Councilor Mr. Vecchia.
Thank you very much. Okay, I'm ready to do the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, Maddie Dowse will swear in the new councilors. Mark, gotta go over there.
Thank you.
Gotta go over there, get sworn
I
in.
ask that Councilor DePietro, Councilor McKenzie, and Councilor Manna.
Welcome aboard, by the way. Gotta go over there.
Congratulations.
Get to raise your right hand. Do you, Mark E. DePietro, solemnly swear to perform all... I'm sorry, A. DePietro, solemnly swear to perform all duties incumbent of you as a member of the Town Council until June 30th, 2019, faithfully and impartially according to the laws of the Commonwealth and abide by the Charter and bylaws of the Town of Southbridge, so help you God.
I do.
Thank you. I just need you to sign right here, please. Mark A. Thank you. And I also need to give you open meeting law and the conflict of interest. So if you would just sign your name right there, please. Okay. And you're all set.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
No, put my phone away.
Councilor Manna? No, or Councilor McKenzie. You gotta raise your right hand, sir. Do you, Wallace McKenzie, solemnly swear to perform all duties incumbent of you as a member of the Southbridge Town Council until June 30th, 2019, faithfully and impartially according to the laws of the Commonwealth and abide by the Charter and bylaws of the Town of Southbridge, so help you God?
So help me God, I will.
Thank you. I just need you to sign. Thank you. I also need to give you the open meeting law and the conflict of interest. So if you would just sign your name right there, please.
Thank you.
Thank you. Last but not least, Councilman. Can I raise your right hand? Do you, Monique Manna, solemnly swear to perform all duties incumbent of you as a member of the Town Council for the Town of Southbridge, faithfully and until June 30th, 2019, faithfully and impartially according to the laws of the Commonwealth and abide by the Charter and bylaws of the Town of Southbridge, so help you God?
I do.
Okay, thank you. Just need you to sign. Easy, it's right on the spine. Okay, and I also need to give you your packet. And it also has the open meeting law and the conflict of interest, so if you would just sign your name right there. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Councilor Vecchia. That's right, come on over. Mr. Carrasco. Do you, Esteban Carrasco, solemnly swear to perform all duties incumbent of you as a member of the Southbridge Town Council until June 30th, 2018, faithfully and impartially according to the laws of the Commonwealth, and abide by the Charter and bylaws of the Town of Southbridge, so help you God?
I do.
We're all set now, Counselor. Thank you.
Thank you, Maddie. All right, the next item on the agenda is the invocation from Pastor Gary George of the Sovereign Grace Church.
First, I want to congratulate the new town councilors, and I want to wish you all the best in your days ahead, and I want to ask if you'd bow your head with me as we pray to our God. Our God, thank you that we can look to you as a rock that is higher than ourselves to beseech you on behalf of the town of Southbridge and those that are taking roles of leadership and decision-making for the good of all its residents. We acknowledge you as the one from whom we live and move and have our being. Your word tells us that authority is ordained by you and that those who govern are given duties of responsibility that require wisdom, knowledge, and a fear of you, Almighty God. Give to this board of counselors wisdom in their decision-making, unity of spirit to work together, and the counsel they offer to those they address. We ask that you would equip them for meeting the challenges that lay ahead of them, and that their prudence may be displayed in a fashion that would be for the common good of this society. We thank you for their willingness to sacrifice their time, for their willingness to be servants to this town, and for their best efforts in making Southbridge a place of distinction and noble character. We ask all these things in the worthy name of the King of Kings and Lord of Lords, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Thank you very much. Roll call.
Present.
Councilor Carrasco. Present. Councilor Clements.
Present.
Councilor DePietro. Present. Councilor Estrada.
Present.
Councilor McKenzie.
Present.
Councilor Manna.
Present.
Councilor Steves.
Present.
Councilor Vecchia.
Present.
9 present.
The next agenda item is election of a permanent chairman. Go ahead.
Before we go on with the election, what I would like to do is call for a ballot vote rather than a show of hands on this election for chairman and for vice chairman.
A second, though.
Discussion?
Is this a secret ballot?
You want a secret ballot, that's what you're saying?
That is correct.
That's what he said. Yeah.
Discussion?
There is.
If I may,
Go ahead.
great idea to keep everybody friends, but I don't think that's,
We never had a secret ballot
no,
before.
I mean, that's kind of gone.
Well,
Does the charter say anything about that?
actually it does.
I don't remember.
Who said?
According, if I may, according to Robert's Rules, Chapter 14. Oh, well, I was just going by Robert's Rules. So, Chapter 14, Section E, number 30, it says that a member can move to a vote to be taken by ballot.
Oh, yeah.
So therefore, that is my request. It has been seconded. I guess we're now up to discussion.
We're still open for discussion. Gus, you have something to say?
Yes.
Yeah, I was just curious of what the charter says. As I know we haven't done this
We never
in the
did it.
past. I personally don't care one way or the other whether we do it by ballot or openly. But
I made it, it doesn't state it in the charter. I don't believe it either states it in the council rules as well, so. we're in
Any
the
more
bylaws.
discussion? Like to vote on this, please? Roll call vote.
Councilor Auclair.
Councilor Clare.
Yeah, I'm thinking, sorry. Yes.
Councilor Carrasco.
Yes.
Councilor Clements.
Yes.
Councilor DePietro.
No.
Councilor Estrada.
Yes.
Councilor McKenzie.
Yes.
Councilor Manna.
Yes.
Councilor
Which-
Steves.
yes,
Councilor Steves.
yes.
Councilor Vecchia.
No.
7 yes, 2 no.
Okay. Now, Mr. Recording Secretary, can you bring some ballots to us? Huh? I can't hear you.
So the next item is to make nominations for the chair. So we make the nominations, and then I'll distribute
Oh,
secret
okay,
ballot.
all right, okay, you're right, all right. Nominations. Council Manna.
Thank you, Mr. Temporary Chair. I would like to nominate Councilor Clements for the chair position.
We have a second?
Second.
Okay. That's the first nomination. Any other nominations?
Second.
You seconded it? Okay, so that's the second nomination.
For Councilor? Okay.
Any other nominations? Any other nomination? Any other nomination? Nominations be closed. Okay. I'm going to need some ballots.
I'm making them as we speak. I wasn't prepared for this.
Maddie's coming.
There she is. She knows all about elections. Correct the last name. I only had a couple more. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, too much. Okay.
Perfect time to have the town clerk there.
After you're done with your ballot, I'll take the ballots. I'll count the votes. Okay?
I think the town clerk.
I think the town clerk should do it.
Yeah, Councilor Vecchia? Councilor Vecchia? If I may, I would like you to oversee that process, but I would like our town clerk that's here, that oversees all
Okay, sure.
elections, to see
I'll
that.
oversee.
Second.
our town
That
clerk.
is the correct process.
Thank you.
Well, he said he was going to
Okay.
count them, so I just wanted
He's supposed to, the chair is supposed to read ballots, though, if that's the... You put our names on them?
I think I'm the one that's supposed
then-
to read the ballots.
Okay. Why'd you do that?
Huh?
It's supposed to be...
It's not a secret ballot, you can without the names.
We can probably just cross them out. Yeah.
You can vote names on it?
He put initials, and technically then it would be not a... Just rip off the initials.
Okay, does it make for a secret who the name's on?
Yeah, neither does different size pieces of paper now.
Yeah, it's supposed to be secret
The
ballot.
last name of whoever you want.
That's about the top? Okay, so just now write the name and
Just take,
last name.
All right, I got mine.
Give it to the...
I'll give it to Maddie, but I'm supposed to count
Maddie,
it, all count it
would
together.
you just walk around
No,
and
actually,
grab it for me?
they're supposed to count them, and you're supposed to verify.
Okay.
That's how that works. You read the results.
Does everybody have a ballot?
I'm done.
Why aren't they coming? Why?
Just Maddie can walk around. Like the-
Maddie should collect
But
them.
that doesn't mean they're going to do this.
I'm going to let the clerk do it.
Oh, that's true.
You doing this for the vice chair?
Thank you.
All right, so what do you want to do?
Just stay there, just kind
Yeah, you're supposed to just bring the results. You and Max should do it.
Yeah, I'll mark it.
That's how that works. Chair's just gonna start the results.
We'll probably get this soon. Mine's WW.
Really smiling.
Who? Laurie?
He's the happiest guy in the world. It's an honor to be here.
It's a learning curve.
So I wish I could have done that before.
Don't let me stop.
I wish I'd thought about it myself in the past, but I guess I just always felt like.
The ballot then,
You should be able to see.
Also speaking.
the ballot is 5 votes for Carasso, 4 for Clements. So, Council Carasso, you're the new chairman.
Process for the vice chairman? That's for the vice chairman?
Well, no, he's gonna do the vice chairman.
Oh, this is later.
You do the vice chairman, or do I do it?
No,
Up to you. If you want me to do it.
Esteban does it.
Thank you. Nice job.
I'll go over right here. But that's my chair. The chair you got is my chair.
You can have it.
I think it's
Where do you want me to put it?
Over here.
Are you going all the way?
I've had that chair for
Do you guys assign seating arrangements here on the council seating?
We will.
Change in 5 minutes.
She gonna open it.
Thank you, Councilor Vecchia. Thank you to the fellow councilors that give me the honor to serve this community as the chairman. Moving on to agenda item number 8, election of vice chairman. Do we have any nominations? Do we have any nominations for vice chairman? Councilor Estrada.
I make the motion for vice chairman for Councilor Claire.
I have a nomination for Councilor Auclair. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
A second. Do we have another nomination for vice chair?
I nominate Denise Clements.
Second.
We have a nomination from Councilor Clements. Any other nominations for vice chair? Now, I have a question. Mr. McKenzie, is this a secret ballot also, or it is?
We have to vote on that.
Okay. We need a motion, because this is a separate agenda item, so we're going to need a motion in regards to making this a secret ballot. Councilor McKenzie.
I make a motion that this become a secret ballot.
I'll second that.
Discussion.
What?
No.
Not at this point. Excuse me. This is also a secret ballot. We need a roll call in regards to the secret ballot.
Councilor Carrasco?
Yes.
Councilor Clements?
No.
Councilor DePietro?
Yes.
Councilor Estrada?
No.
Councilor McKenzie?
Yes.
Councilor Miana?
No.
Councilor Steves?
Yes.
Councilor Vecchia?
No.
Councilor Auclair?
Yes?
5 yes, 4 no.
Motion carries. The election of the vice chair will be in secret ballot.
Thank you.
I don't get the vote, but thanks anyway.
You're on cards.
You're gonna collect the ballots?
not.
The election of the vice chairman is Councilor Denise Clements.
That was 5 to 4. What was the vote, 5 to 4?
5-4.
5-4, right?
Councilor Clements, you're going to need to bring that chair over here. There's no chair. Moving on to agenda item number 9, adoption of permanent seating arrangement. At this time, I'm going to ask our town clerk, Matty Dowse.
It's Mary Bondias now, but that's okay.
Excuse me, sorry.
It's all right. It's all good.
Matty, this chair's in there too, right?
Excuse me?
This is the last chair?
No, this is the last chair.
Oh, what's it? This is the first chair?
No, actually, it'll start just right after Councilor DePietro. That's the first one.
There's enough chairs in here?
This is apples.
Over here? Okay.
If there's a conflict, I'll stand.
No, but I don't think that anybody sits in that chair. I'll wait to see those.
It's just, yeah, that's it. Adjourn. Take a 5-minute.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, there's 7.
Yeah, there's 3. There goes 3 here. Right, but there's a seat that goes between Mr. San Angelo and Conrad. That would be for the town attorney. Then Conrad's is 11, 12, 13.
There's 3 seats there, that's what you're saying? Okay.
Yeah. Okay, we'll start with alphabetically. Councilor Eau Claire? Okay. Number 4 is going to be, like, right where Monique, so the third one is. Yeah, yeah. Chairman, would you care to? So Councilor Eau Claire has chosen seat 4, which is going to be the third one in.
Third one in?
Yes. Right where Monique used to sit.
We go alphabetical.
She got her name. She does.
Where's 4?
Like the third,
The third one or the second one?
yeah, the third mic in.
So this one, right?
So this is the first one here, right?
Councilor DePietro? Councilor DePietro has picked seat number 12. So it's 11, 12. Like, Conrad's was 11, so his would be 12. Councilor Estrada? Councilor Estrada has picked seat number 3. Right.
Right here.
Councilor McKenzie? No, don't. Councilor McKenzie has picked seat number 6. 6?
Oh, it's just surprising not to see.
Councilor Manna?
Surprising not to see anything.
Oh, yeah, it's an in-house transfer, but it's just.
Councilor Manna has picked seat number lucky 13.
It's one of the cases I can't explain. I can explain the cases on that. But
Councilor Steve? No peeking.
totals and the three big ones are.
You're right.
The solar deal.
Councilor Steves has picked seat number 11. 11?
So I got number 1 right here, right?
You get 5, which is over there.
Who sits here?
No one. It starts there.
Pushing you forward, push back.
Thank you, Councilor Carrasco.
Are you a pair, Gus?
Yeah.
Good,
We've
good.
never had to put anybody in this country.
That's right, I'm glad to have you there, because it's like, you talk lower than everybody else, so it's easier for me to hear what you say here. When you over there, you talk low, and like, trying to hear what you say.
Moving on to agenda item number 10, adjournment. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Simple hand vote. This meeting, the reorganizational meeting has been adjourned. We'll resume in 5 minutes. Good evening. Welcome back to tonight's Town Council meeting, Monday, July 11, 2016. Agenda item number 1, Pledge of Allegiance. Please join me. Agenda item number 2, roll call, please.
Councilor O'Clair?
Present.
Councilor Carrasco?
Present.
Councilor Clements?
Present.
Councilor DePietro?
Present.
Councilor Estrada?
Present.
Councilor McKenzie?
Present.
Councilor Manna? Councilor Steves?
Present.
Councilor Vecchia?
Here.
9 present.
Thank you. Agenda item number 3, consider and accept Town Council meeting minutes of Monday, June 20th, 2016.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Any discussion? I would do a simple hand vote.
Yeah.
All those in favor? We should have 2
Should
abstentions.
be 2 abstentions.
2 abstentions, yes. Thank you.
weren't there long.
Agenda item number 4, subcommittee reports. At this time, there's nothing else to report unless a former chair has minutes that they did not read, but I didn't see it in the packet, so therefore, there is none. So moving on to agenda item number 5, chairman's announcements. First of all, I want to thank the councilors that voted to allow me to serve as the chairman of this council for this year. I will do my best, and simply my best. I will continue to honor the citizens, respect the citizens, bring everything that I can to the table to unify our community and continue to hold a level of accountability just as I promised. Therefore, as one of the responsibilities moving forward, I'm going to ask the councilors that this week they email me their preference in what they want to serve in as subcommittees. Please email me by Friday, so therefore we can hit the ground running rather than not waiting and getting things going. There are citizens that already have submitted applications to serve on subcommittee, so we want to get things going as quickly as possible. The second announcement is that our summer recreation program started today. It is a 5-week recreational program for Southbridge children ages 6 through 12 at West Street Elementary School. They still have openings, so there is applications available. It's one application per each child. There is a fee of $25 to the Recreation Department by July 5th, but again, there's still some openings, so they are still taking some children. All children must be picked up by 12:30. The program runs from July 11th, 2016 through August 12, 2016, and it's a Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Program. Also today, the Southbridge Cops and Kids program kicked off. It had an awesome turnout once again. One of the things that I need to let the public know is that there is a waiting list now. The Cops and Kids program is over, it's reached its limit so far. So that's why I'm announcing this summer recreation program, because right now the Southbridge Cops and Kids program has closed their registrations. That's all I have for announcements. Agenda number 6, Town Manager's announcements. Mr. Sanangelo.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I'd like to start off by congratulating you in your reoccurring position as Town Chairman, and I also would like to congratulate our new Vice Chairman. It's going to be a pleasure working with both of you. It's been a very successful year, and this council has been very together on mostly every vote. There's been a few people that have went in different directions based upon their positions on different issues, but overall I think this council has worked as a team, and I look forward to seeing that continue in the next couple of years. I'd like to start off by reading an announcement from Whitewater, which is the vendor that runs our water treatment facility, and this is in relationship to weather conditions. As you know, it's been very hot and there hasn't been a real lot of rain, so I want to read an announcement. It was sent to me and the DPW Director, Heather Blakely, from Mr. Stephen Gregori, Operations Manager, Whitewater, Inc., and it's regarding a drought task force, Drought Watch. On July 8th, the Drought Management Task Force, comprised of state, federal, and local officials, placed our region of the state under a drought watch. The Southbridge Water Department is currently at a reservoir level of 90% capacity. This level is within our 20-year historical average, but is slightly lower than we have been in the same time period compared to the last several years. In this calendar year, we are currently running a 5-inch precipitation deficit compared to our 20-year historical average. We are not currently under any sort of water ban. We do want to remind citizens to please practice common sense conservation and help protect our valuable resource of water. The Drought Task Force also is concerned with dry conditions we've experienced this spring, given the potential increased risk of accidental fire. So please be careful, particularly with cigarette butts that you might throw out the window. This is a really dangerous time of year for that. If these very dry conditions continue through the summer months, the threat of wildfires will become even greater, said Massachusetts Emergency Management Director, MEMA Director Kurt Swartz. To that end, we remind our residents and visitors to continue to not only conserve water, but also utilize extreme caution when dealing with outdoor burning. The complete report from the Drought Task Force can be found on mass.gov website. A couple other quick announcements. The town has now put in place new auditors, a new auditing firm to do our annual audit. The company is Mellinson and Heath. The reason I wanted to bring that out tonight, it's a really good idea to change auditors on a regular basis, so that when the auditors come in, it kind of gives you a fresh look at all of our books. So we've had the same auditors for a number of years. We brought in somebody new. This was done through a request for proposal process. We had a team evaluate all the proposals. We chose this company, and again, I was very pleased. I approved the final hiring of this firm, and I'm very pleased because it is a new kind of breath of fresh air looking at our books, and I think that's a really good thing.
Excuse me. Were they the low bidders?
They were correct.
How much?
I didn't bring the amount with me. I'll be happy to send that to you tomorrow, what the bidders were and what the amounts were.
Thank you.
Okay. I also wanted to thank a gentleman, I don't know his last name, but as many of you probably saw both in the newspaper and if you saw it on cable access, the town recently had a donation made to it in a different kind of way. A mural was recently donated to the town on behalf of the Latino community, and I had the opportunity, and other town councilors and other members of the public were able to be there to see this mural. If you haven't seen it, it's on a market. The name of the market is Lus and Miles.
The Brothers Market.
The Brothers Market. It's an absolutely beautiful mural, but what was really important about that mural is what it symbolized, and it really symbolized a relationship between the Latino community and all the other nationalities here in Massachusetts, and particularly here in Southbridge. It's a beautiful piece of artwork. I think that one of the messages we've been trying to send is the cooperation of all nationalities, and in light of what we see nationally, I think it's a great message for our town where we can all come together and work together to fashion a successful Southbridge based on solid interests that we all have. So I thought it was a great gesture. I want to thank the Latino community, and particularly Francesco, for the beautiful piece of artwork. As you know, well, you may not know yet, we actually completed the invitation to bid for the library project for the gutters. So as you know, you put money in the budget to do that project. The water has been leaking into the building as a result of bad gutters at the library. That's been put onto the register, and we're going to be waiting to get all the bids in, and soon we'll be selecting a company to fix those gutters, and hopefully that will protect the building. After we do that, we'll open up, we'll send out invitation to bids next for the walls, to seal the walls, and then thirdly, we'll have invitation to bids for the painting. We want to get that library back up to speed and in the condition it should be. This will protect that library, which is an extremely important asset for this town for many years to come. Thank you for budgeting the money for those projects. We're moving forward. I'd love to have all 3 projects done by the end of this winter. So that's the plan, and we're moving in that direction. I want to give my appreciation to Heather. Once again, I put together the basic information for the invitation to bid, but she put together the scope of services, the exact work that had to be done. And it's a tremendous project, getting into the details of how to do that. So kudos to our DPW director for the hard work involved with that.
Excuse me.
Yep.
You mentioned the DPW director. So I assume when we just had a town vote that her topic won.
Yes, that will happen soon with that. Probably within the next week to 2 weeks, we will be putting out a job advertisement for a new position of DPW director. Because of that vote, that will be coming up, and the town will be selecting a new permanent DPW director.
How come you're not appointing her?
That position right now is going to be open. We're going to put it out to the public, and she will have every ability to apply for the position. Has told me she's going to, but we'll look at all candidates and then make a decision.
Thank you.
Just one other compliment. The economic development, there's been an economic development plan that the town is moving forward on, and I know the number of councilors were at this event too. It was Celebrating Southbridge event, and it was really designed, it was down in the building where the Bicentennial has their office, and it was a wonderful event. I didn't get to attend because I was on vacation, but I heard great things about the event. Citizens and businesses alike commented and gave ideas how to move the plan forward. It was a real positive event. I heard nothing but great things about it. It had music and entertainment, but it was another way to bring the business community together to talk about what's important to the town and to try to improve business in the downtown area. And actually, it's a little broader than the downtown area this time as well. That completes my report for this evening, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Town Manager. Moving on to agenda item number 7, presentations. There are none this evening. So moving on to agenda item number 8, Citizens Forum. At this time, are there any citizens that would like to address the council with something that's not on the agenda? Please state your name, address, and you have 5 minutes, and please keep it respectful.
Take 5 minutes. My name is Yulitza Agosto. I live at 55 Gulf Street. And honestly, I just want to congratulate the council on the re-elections. And those that are new to the seat, congratulations to every one of you. Honestly, I just came here to thank you guys for the hard work that you guys do. Sometimes I know that it takes time away from your families, and it's hard work that sometimes goes unnoticed. So honestly, from a citizen here in Southbridge, thank you very much for all your hard work. And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Moving on, are there any other citizens that would like to address the council with something that's not on the agenda? Are there any citizens that would like to address the council with something that's not on the agenda? Final call. Moving on to agenda item number 9, vote to confirm the reappointment of Richard Cornetta to the Board of Health for a 3-year term effective immediately through June 30th, 2019.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Councilor Claire.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Through you to the town manager. I believe there's still one more appointment coming up for the Board of Health for this year, correct?
There is one more position that we expect not to, an incumbent position who may or may not get reappointed at this time. We are waiting to have that meeting to discuss that particular position.
Okay. And then just, I know that I think I mentioned it last time with the last appointment, maybe with the next one, do a 2-year to stagger it correctly?
Yeah, we're going to take a look at that. I got to look at that this week about the staggering of those terms to see what's the best way to do that.
All right, thank you.
Councilor McKenzie.
Yes, I'm wondering if it is our responsibility as new council members to abstain from these votes because we may not be familiar with the people or the situations, or if we should indeed vote.
But just so you know, Councilor McKenzie, the choice is yours, so it's completely up to you.
Okay.
These are existing members that were on the board, so most of these other councilors are familiar with them because they originally appointed. These are reappointments.
Okay.
If you know the person, I would say, and you feel that the person's a good qualified candidate, vote for it. If not, I would abstain.
Okay.
But that choice is completely up to you.
If I know them, I can vote for them, but if I don't, I should abstain.
Well, again, it's your choice, but at least then you could say, I know the person, I knew they were qualified for the position. If you don't know them and you feel more comfortable abstaining, that's okay, too.
Councilor Clements.
These reappointments come from you, though, as the town manager.
That's correct.
And you feel
So-
comfortable. So that's
Right.
another way to judge your potential vote, would be certain things you may feel not confident in doing, but other times you may feel comfortable
So
doing.
what
that's
happens with
totally up to you.
reappointments, and it's a great point for Councilor Clements, what happens is we talk to the members, the different members, and see if everybody's happy with the kind of work they do, and I also look at if there's any complaints about that particular member. In these cases, if there were complaints or issues, I might talk about those privately with you, but with these members, there's no complaints on any of these members.
Thank you.
Any further discussion on agenda item number 9? Roll call, please.
Councilor Clements?
Yes.
Councilor DePietro?
Yes.
Councilor Estrada?
Yes.
Councilor McKenzie?
Yes.
Councilor Manna?
Yes.
Councilor Steves?
Yes.
Councilor Vecchia?
Yes.
Councilor Eau Claire?
Yes.
Councilor Carrasco?
Yes.
9 yes.
Thank you. Motion carries. Moving on to agenda item number 10, vote to confirm the reappointment of Jose Rentas to the Economic Development Committee for a 3-year term effective immediately through June 30th, 2019.
So moved.
Any discussion? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Councilor DePietro?
Yes.
Councilor Estrada?
Yes.
Abstain? Councilor McKenzie?
Yes.
Councilor Manna?
Yes.
Councilor Steves?
Yes.
Councilor Vecchia?
Yes.
Councilor Eau Claire?
Yes.
Councilor Carrasco?
Yes.
Councilor Clements?
Yes.
8 yes, 1 abstain.
Thank you. Motion carries. Agenda item number 11, vote to confirm the reappointment of Kathy Shields as a Animal Control Officer for a 1-year term effective immediately through June 30th, 2017.
2017.
It's a 1-year term. Do we have a motion?
Motion.
So moved.
Discussion? Councilor Vecchia.
To the town manager, the chairman, Kathy Shields, is this a 40-hour job, or does she do something else for the town also?
Our chief can answer.
Yeah, I'm going to pass that to our police chief who works with her on a regular basis.
And Chief Woodson, my second question is, what is her pay?
It's a 37.5-hour position for Ms.
full-time
Shields, and I believe it's somewhere around $21.50 an hour.
Well, it's 37 and a half hours?
Yeah, it's a
full-time
And how many
position.
hours is the animal control?
The animal control, it's nights, holidays, weekends, she works over.
So that's a full-time
37.
job?
Yes.
She doesn't do anything else?
She enforces parking violations for us also.
Well, when did she do that?
She usually takes, say, an hour or so every day during her shift to go up to the Main Street area and do all the business parking, the 2-hour violations, when time allows, of course. Her primary responsibility is animal control.
But my point is, she works 37 and a half hours only, doesn't work more hours for the parking.
I don't understand. Can you repeat that, please?
She works 37 and a half hours on boat jobs,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
How many hours does she work on, it fluctuates?
It varies from week to week depending on the need.
Okay. What is her salary?
It's, I believe, $21.50 per hour.
Those are my questions. Thank you.
Okay. Anything else?
Thank you, Mr. Chief.
Thank you.
Any further discussion? I do have a question. I know this item was brought up last year as why are we reappointing a town employee? It just doesn't make sense to have her come up every year as a reappointment because she's a full-time employee. She's under your jurisdiction as the department head. You can can her or keep her as your discretion. So I don't know why.
I think I know the answer.
This last year, it was brought up, and it was not supposed to be brought forward again.
If I could, Mr. Chairman, only because I was talking to our town clerk, and she says it's a 1-year appointment by state statute. I was looking for the term of this in our charter and our ordinances. It's not there. The appointment process in Massachusetts General Statutes is a 1-year appointment process. That's why I think it is as it is. So that's, I talked to Maddie about it. She informed me. I was wondering why I couldn't find it. And that was her explanation to me. So I think we can check next year to make sure, but I think that's the reason for the 1-year appointment.
So my only question then would be then, we can have someone else apply, technically, and have to go through the whole hiring process so she can keep her job, because it's a reappointment.
We don't have to choose to open it up at all. In other words, I guess if this is, I believe, an at-will employee, so I could choose to let that at-will employee go at any time if I felt they weren't doing their job, and then bring another appointment up to the town council. I could do that with a number of other positions, but this one, because it's specific in the general statutes, it has the 1-year appointment process. But she's not a permanent employee. In other words, she's non-union. She's an at-will employee. In theory, if we wanted to, we could eliminate her and bring in a new person.
Okay, thank you. If you can just, because I know last year brought up and there's some confusion, if we can look into it and just send it to the rest of the council, it would be great. Any further discussion on this item? Thank you, Chief. Roll call, please.
Councilor Estrada?
Yes.
Councilor McKenzie?
Yes.
Councilor Miana? Yes. Councilor Steves?
Yes.
Councilor Vecchia?
Yes.
Councilor Auclair?
Yes.
Councilor Carrasco?
Yes.
Councilor Clements?
Yes.
Councilor DePietro?
Yes.
9 yes.
Thank you. Motion carries. Agenda item number 12, vote to transfer $22,500 from Town Council Heating Fuel Account, Town Hall Heating Fuel Account number 1.190.5212.99.736 to the following accounts for fiscal year 2016. Account 1-151-5300, Town Attorney Specialized Services, $7,500. Account 1.297.5200.0.741, Streetlights, $15,000.
Second.
Any discussion?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
If we may, let's allow our town manager to explain and maybe answer some questions.
I think it probably will explain some of the questions before we get to them. And I thank Councilor Manna for asking the questions so they could prepare information for fellow board members. I just came in today from vacation, so I wanted to make sure I had a clear answer, and I appreciate the work the staff did today to get it ready. So first, let's deal with the street light account, which I think is the most important one. And Karen sent me a memo today explaining it to me, so I'm going to read it. It's short for 2 reasons. Our contract electricity rate from Direct Energy, which was .0756 a kilowatt hour, expired, and the new contract rate for fiscal year 16 from Constellation was higher, .0901 kilowatts. In November the South Bear solar array started producing electricity. The initial allocation of the solar credits was not accurately calculated by the consultant, so the town cannot make full use of the solar credits at this time. We will be working with the consultant to reallocate the distributions for 2017. She also attached a spreadsheet for me showing the electricity differences, and of course the larger differences are in the months you would expect them to be in. Obviously during January, when it's very cold, our electricity bill goes up, January, December area, and then also in August, when there's a lot of air conditioning, is when the differences were. So the actual difference in the 2 years is $13,755.16. Any questions on this, on the electricity part?
Councilor DePietro.
Through the chair, so essentially, this is an electric bill.
Yeah.
The
Sums it up.
lights.
The change of rates in electricity bill.
All right, in
That's
the
true.
packet it wasn't described. So
Yeah, it wasn't in here.
thank you.
Yep.
Councilor Steves?
I'm just curious, okay, if you said that the amount that we actually owe is 13,000 and change, how come we're doing,
Yeah,
how
I
come we're
think-
doing 15,000?
Yeah, I think she put in a little bit of buffer just in case for the end of the year. And if there's a little bit extra in it, then she'll just close it out at the end of the year and it'll turn into free cash. So, yeah, she put a little bit of buffers in both to make sure she covers everything because it's the end of year closeout.
And since I still have the floor, what about the town attorney thing?
Okay, everybody okay with this one?
All set, Councilman? I know you had your hand up.
I do still have it up, but I don't have a question on that.
Okay. Thank you. The second part of this is the question on legal bills. Is everyone understands legal bills are an estimate. We set an amount every year, and legal bills kind of get determined by activity and what is actually happening in town, which drives the actual legal bills. As a lot of councilors know, there were three large issues this year that drove a lot of it, and those are three items. One, the solar contract that we had. That was in the neighborhood of $30,000 for that contract. And we had two union negotiations, both police and fire came up this year. Those were the three big drivers, and I broke out for you just so you have it. And a lot of these attorneys were chosen before I came in office, and some of these attorneys are no longer with us. But I'm going to give you a breakdown from each law firm, what the cost of each law firm was for the year. Blattman, Bobrowski, Mead, and Tellerman, $907.50. That was because they were terminated early on and they just finished the case. So this council changed law firms and they had to finish up something they were working on. Caprera, who does a lot of our basic legal work, $18,995.23. Obviously, the largest law firm we have that do the bulk of our legal work is Merrick O'Connell. That was $116,192.61. So those are the three big ones. I looked at I wanted to go back and look at some of the law bills. I just took the last 3 months to see the types of things that we've been working on, obviously, and the big ones are those two contracts and the solar, but we also had the lease arrangement for the cell tower across the street, which we had to do a lot of work on. It was a 20-year expiration, and this year it happened to come up this year, so a lot of work had to be done since the lease was 20 years old. It wasn't up to date, and it needed a lot of work to get that cleaned up. We've also had a number of issues with the landfill, as the board is aware, that we've had to address and discuss. So it's been a more active year. I would expect, because we are going to get these two contracts are going to be done, police and fire, and they're going to be done reasonably on time this year. Our bills for next year potentially could be lower. The only problem with that is I can't predict the future, so if some big lawsuit hits us, you never know what can happen. The actual amount of difference is $7,262.84. Again, Karen put in a slight amount to adjust just in case.
Councilor Mena?
Thank you, Mr. Chair, to you, to the town manager. First, I just want to say that I'm a little disappointed that we didn't see any explanations in our packets, especially for the new counselors, because
What? I'm sorry. Oh,
I am a little disappointed that we didn't see anything in our packets on this, especially for our new counselors, for them to ask questions on if they had any questions. And it's surprising to see an extra $7,500 for legal bills, and it just says specialized services. Well, that's very vague. So what I'm asking, you just gave the explanation. You don't need to do it again. Thank you. But what I am asking is for a breakdown of the legal bills and to see where the money's going for, just a breakdown. if that could be done, I'd appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Any further discussion on this item? Roll call, please.
McKenzie,
Yes.
Councilor Manna,
Yes.
Councilor Steves,
Yes.
Councilor Vecchia, Councilor Auclair,
Yes.
Councilor Carrasco,
Yes.
Councilor Clements,
Yes.
Councilor DePietro,
Yes.
Councilor Estrada,
Yes.
8 yes, 1 no.
Thank you. Motion carries. Agenda item number 13, vote to accept the bylaw proposed to manage and control blighted properties. This is the third and final reading, and I'm going to ask councilors to help again in regards to this long bylaw.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion to postpone the third reading. I'd like to send it back to Planning and Development, or, well, to EHS, I guess, whichever one we want to send it to, General Government, one of our committees. There are some questions that I have that have come up, and also I would think that we need to give our new counselors a chance to actually absorb this, because they're about to vote on something that they've not been a part of at all. So I'd like to give it a chance for them, at least a couple of weeks till the next meeting, or whatever, for them to become familiar with this bylaw.
Second.
I've asked a few of my questions that have come to me from some citizens. I'd just like a little bit more time to confer with Mr. Pelletier, if anybody else has any other questions. But I think it's important that the new counselors get a chance to understand it.
I second that.
Thank you. It is my understanding, and I validate that concern, and I hope that the will of the council will be done. But it is also my understanding that when we do send it back, the clock restarts. So as long as we know, we will start again from 1, especially if there's any changes made to the bylaw. Councilor McKenzie.
If there are no changes to be made, would they then have to read it 3 times over?
No, because this is just, Councilor Clements' motion is just a postponement. So therefore, if there is no changes to the bylaw, we bring it back, and it would be the third and final readings. But if there is changes proposed in subcommittee, we would start all over and start with the first reading again.
Thank you.
Councilor Clements.
And the worst scenario would be that it would be finalized sometime in August versus now.
Just if I could ask a question, just so I understand. I appreciate this, and I don't have a major issue with it. I do want to point out that, there's been about 7 months worth of work that's been put into this from town departments. It has been gone through committee once, and now we're in the final and third reading. I do want to stress that this is important to the town, because obviously this issue is about the blighted buildings and the properties in town that are really damaging the long-term reputation of this community by seeing these blighted buildings everywhere. We are hiring a new building official shortly, and we really want to get him to work on dealing with him or her to get to work on dealing with these blighted buildings as soon as possible. At this point, I would appreciate if the new vice chairman could send me a list of any questions that she might have on this, so that I could prepare and respond to her questions when she has them. I don't know if she's ready yet for that, but when she is, I'd appreciate being ready to go to the council meeting with addressing any of the questions that she may have.
Well, I would intend to have the questions answered prior to the next meeting. I would ask that once the subcommittees are formed, that we have one meeting at least, and then I would think that things could get cleared up in a manner, at least for what, again, it's a number of citizens' concerns that have come to light hearing the bylaw read. I mean, citizens only get to read this or hear this as we kind of go quickly through it, and there have been some concerns that have come up with it. I don't think anything that can't be overcome, but certainly I think enough for me anyway. Again, I'm just one, so certainly the rest don't have to opt for this. But again, I'm concerned with the new members not voting on something that they've never even participated in. That just seems a bit...
And again, I don't really have any objection. This is an important document for the future of the town, so I don't, again.
We shouldn't take it lightly.
We can't take it lightly. And with the new inspector coming on, it would be nice to kind of move forward with this. So I don't know what the concerns are. So I'd like to, as fast as possible, have the ability to respond to those concerns, because all the professionals have kind of made their recommendations here. Thank you.
Councilor Mena.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, through you. with Councilor Clements bringing up the concerns that people brought forward to her, and you, Mr. Town Manager, saying that this is an important document, and we do have 2 new town councilors, yes, I believe that maybe we should hold off on this until the concerns are answered, it's brought back to subcommittee, and the 2 newer councilors have more time to read this and ask the questions on it. It's that important to the town. We just don't want somebody voting yes or no on it if they don't understand it. Thank you.
Okay, any further discussion? We have a motion and a second for postponement of agenda item number 13. Roll call, please.
Yes.
Steves?
Yes.
Councilor Vecchia?
Yes.
Councilor Auclair?
Yes.
Councilor Carrasco?
Yes.
Councilor Clements?
Yes.
Councilor DePietro?
Yes.
Councilor Estrada?
Yes.
Councilor McKenzie?
Yes.
9 yes.
Thank you. Agenda item number 13 has been postponed to a future date. Before we go on to agenda item number 14, Councilors Forum, it has been brought up to my attention that, again, I want to do things right and openly. I do not think a government that's not accountable to itself should hold anybody else accountable. And according to Mass General Laws, Section 22, Item B, I know Robert's Rules of Orders allows it, but that's just an overview as guiding principles. But under our Massachusetts statute of laws, no vote taken in an open session shall be by a secret vote. And therefore, we must correct this and do this right. If not, we are doing an open meeting violation. And I refuse. Correct. So at this point, I'm looking for a motion to rescind those votes.
I'll make a motion to rescind the votes.
And bring back Councilor Vecchia to oversee that process.
Thank you very much.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Councilor Steves?
Yes.
Councilor Vecchia?
Yes.
Councilor Auclair?
Yes.
Councilor Carrasco?
Yes.
Councilor Clements?
Yes.
Councilor DePietro?
Yes.
Councilor Estrada?
Yes.
Councilor McKenzie?
Yes.
Councilor Miana?
Yes.
9 yes.
So we have rescinded those 2, the chair and the vice chair. The seating arrangements will stay the same, but at this time I will call Councilor Vecchia to proceed with the election of the chair and vice chair.
Okay. I'll take nominations for the chair again.
I'll nominate Councilor Carrasco.
I didn't hear you.
I'll nominate Councilor Carrasco.
Yes? Any second?
Second.
Second. I nominate Denise Clements.
Second.
That's the only 2 nominations. Okay?
There could be more. There could be more.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay.
Ask
Could
3
be-
times, please. Let's keep this transparent.
All right. Is there any more nominations? Is there any more nominations? Is there any more nominations? Okay.
Nominations be closed.
Nominations are closed.
Roll call.
Roll call, votes.
So I'll call your name and you state your preference.
Yes.
Councilor Vecchia?
Clements.
Councilor Auclair?
Carrasco.
Councilor Carrasco?
Carrasco.
Councilor Clements?
Clements.
Councilor DePietro?
Clements?
Councilor Estrada?
Carrasco.
Councilor McKenzie?
Carrasco.
Councilor Miana?
Clements.
Councilor Steves?
Carrasco.
5 Carrasco, 4 for Clements.
Okay. Now I'll take nominations for vice chair. Is there any nominations for vice chair?
I'll nominate Kristen Auclair.
I didn't hear you.
I said I
Kristen
nominate
Auclair.
Councilor
Kristen
Auclair.
Auclair.
Okay. Who seconds it?
Someone second.
Second. Is there any more nominations?
I'll nominate Denise Clements.
I'll second that. Is there any more nominations? Is there any more nominations? Is there any more nominations? Okay, nominations are closed. Let's vote.
Okay, state your preference, please. Councilor Eau Claire,
Eau Claire.
Councilor Carrasco,
Eau Claire.
Councilor Clements,
Clements.
Councilor DePietro,
Clements?
Councilor Estrada,
Unclear.
Councilor McKenzie,
Clements.
Councilor Manna,
Clements.
Councilor Steves,
Eau Claire.
Councilor Vecchia,
Clements.
4 for Leclerc, 5 for Clements.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. Moving on to agenda item number 14, Councilor Swarm. I will start with Councilor Manna.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair, through you. First, I'd like to thank the community for entrusting me for another 3 years. I'm very happy, and I'm going to work just as hard as I did the last 3 years. It was a privilege the last 3 years, and I know it's going to be another privilege these next 3 years working for the community. With that, I'd like to read something that I wrote up. And it has to do with the recent events that have taken place throughout our country, especially Thursday, July 7th in Dallas, Texas. Too many times we tend to forget those who serve to protect us every day. Too many times we hear the stories of hate toward law enforcement because people feel they are treated unjustifiably. However, in the face of danger, the police will be there to protect you no matter what. They lay their lives on the line for us every day. In light of the events that transpired Thursday, July 7, 2016, while police were protecting the rights of protesters and their right to free speech, danger lurked in the night and caused chaos on the streets of Dallas. Citizens ran away from the danger. However, law enforcement officers ran toward it and moved as quickly as possible to protect the citizens from the danger, not knowing they were the target of the evil that loomed. 5 police officers lost their lives that night. 5 families lost a brother, a son, father, uncle, nephew. What happened the night of July 7th in Dallas, Texas can occur anywhere. It can happen in small towns with 1 police officer on duty, or it can happen, as we so tragically witnessed, in a large city. It is a threat that is real. We all know this all too well, and it's to all. We are a community of great diversity, yet not perfect. We understand the importance of showing support for our youth so they do not fall under the influence of misguided tendencies. We show support in the face of tragedies, and we come together in times of need. A conversation is needed so we can all understand this risk and risk that falls upon those who pledge to serve and protect us. I'm hoping that you please join us on Wednesday, July 27th at 6 p.m. as we walk in support of all law enforcement. We'll meet here at the town hall and walk to the town common. We will hear from local community leaders from all over the region, well, within our region, on the dangers to those who serve us and the threats they face every day. There will be more to follow on this with those who will be speaking. I do hope you can join us on Wednesday, the 27th. We need to show support for our law enforcement. It is critical, especially now. And also, I would like to, did you have a question? I'm sorry.
I did. I just missed the date in regards date and time.
July 27th at 6 p.m. I haven't gotten the permit yet. I just decided to do this, and I just started getting it together. So I will have a permit. Also, I want to touch base on the sewer increase. There was a hearing on June 30th. Our sewer rates went up 9%. Water rates went up 1%. The majority of the sewer rate that went up, that money was planned for. However, there was $1.7 million in there that was not planned for. It was a vote that was taken last year to bond $1.75 million out for the sewer line. A sewer line that this community could have had for free with revenue coming in. However, it was decided because people did not like the person who was offering the money and the leachate plant that was going to be up there that would have brought us revenue, and it is the safest way to treat leachate instead of trucking it across the roads. decided to bond it out, and now you, the citizen, are paying for it. When money is bonded out, it is not free money. Somebody has to pay for it. And if you don't pay taxes, you're paying for it indirectly right through your rent. So just keep that in mind. And that's it. Thank you.
Councilor DePietro.
Unfortunately, I didn't see an item number 14 in my little packet, but I'm presuming this is council's forum. I had to turn the page. My apologies. If I may, I do plan to attend the, not that it sounds like a big deal one way or another, but the, it's a yay or a nay for some National Grid setting polls. Very simple meeting. I'm sure it's going to be in and out. But I would like to propose, or at least stick my nose in the door and start to propose, especially through the town manager and DPW. A lot of towns, and I think Southbridge should be one, that would insist when utilities come in, we do a curb to curb. So we're not ending up with these little patches, these little fixes which look great that day, but over the course of time will heave here and there. A curb to curb on the same width as the project they're working on is going to be a huge benefit to keep the roads in one piece. And I'm hoping to visit a subcommittee after this to propose that.
Great idea. Absolutely.
If I could respond, it's a great idea, frankly. I'd be happy to set up a meeting between myself, you, and our DPW director to talk about that issue and see if we can make improvements. So I'd be more than happy to do that with you.
Thank you.
Councilor Steves.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I had a couple of quick things. One is that I got a chance to go to that economic development event over at the Bicentennial Building, and it was great. It was a nice little turnout, and I think it's a good thing that we're starting to see. It's kind of the same process that went through the master plan a couple of years ago. So if you do have a chance to comment in on what you want to see in terms of economic development, get in touch with somebody. Get in touch with the planning department. It's Daphne Politis is the one who's running it. She also ran the master plan, and she's very much open to getting some ideas. They were taking a bunch of them down there at that night, and it was great. It was nice to hear a little Jediah playing too, so that was fun. And it was nice to actually see people spilling out onto Hamilton Street. We were talking, among other things, about the idea of closing down streets to actually do public events and have street festivals and things like that, and that as a way to bring people to town. And I know that seems to be a pretty popular idea for the people that were there, so I would love to see some of those happening. Also, I had a chance to go to the concert on the Common this week, which is actually at the high school because of the rain, but it was great. It was Los Sugar Kings, and it would have been nice to see a bigger turnout there. I know that there were other events going on, so that was probably part of it, and the kind of last minute switch from the town hall or from the town common to the school probably sent people home, unfortunately. But this week it's going to be Joyco. It's on Sunday at 4 p.m. So that should be fun. And lastly, also while I was at the concert, there was a bit of a presentation going on, a little discussion of the skate park at Capillo Park, and they've done an awful lot of work down there. So if you get a chance and if you have any interest at all in skating or biking or whatever, go down and check it out. They've actually done a lot of work to repair it. What used to be seriously degraded from just vandalism and all kinds of nastiness. It looks great now. So get a chance to get down and take a look at it. And they're also trying to raise some funds to add to it. I don't know if, Mr. Chairman, if you, I was talking to Aaron, who is in the process of, who is the one who's behind trying to raise funds for it, and I was wondering if you might be able to put him into our council as a presentation for maybe next week.
I apologize. I need to comment on this. I want to be a little cautious with that, and I've been very supportive of what he's trying to do.
He said you were.
But that money that, if people donate, I want to make it really clear to the public, if people donate to that fund, that is not a town-sponsored fund.
Absolutely not. That's
we have
true.
zero control of that money,
That's
so
true.
citizens should know that when they're donating, in spite of that he wants to donate to the Southbridge Skate Park, and we support his efforts there, at the same time, people should not think if they're donating to that fund, that it's somehow being controlled by the town of Southbridge. It's
No,
not.
absolutely,
So I
you're
really
right.
want to make it
Absolutely. You're
clear
absolutely right.
that that's not
Okay.
the case here, because I don't know, I appreciate Aaron's work, I like it, but I don't know how he's going to spend that money or what he's going to do. We have no say in that. We'll encourage things, but
Right.
it's not something we have control of. So people donate,
You're
I hate to
absolutely
say it,
right.
at your own risk, so
You're
to speak.
absolutely right about that, and that's actually one of the things that Aaron and I were talking about, is the idea of I thought we had originally started talking about doing some funding for them.
We had put aside
To take it on as a town
$25,000
thing.
for repairing that whole
Right.
park, and we've used about $2,000 towards that portion of the repairs.
Okay.
But that's as much as we're going to put for that portion in.
Okay.
So that's why Aaron wants to continue raising money. That's his pet project, so to speak.
Okay.
But the rest of our money will be used for other parts of that park.
Okay.
And that's why he wants to do what he wants to do.
Okay, thanks.
And Councilor Steves, I would be more than willing to have him come and present all the money that's been collected to the town. I don't have a problem with that, as long as it's all being presented. Because again, it's the presentation of such is that it's for the skate park. So
Right.
therefore,
Yeah, it is.
if he does want to do a formal presentation to the town, I wouldn't have a problem bringing him on as a presentation.
Okay, I don't know if he was planning on it as a presentation to the town or just to present the work that's been going on down there, what his plans are. I honestly didn't raise that. I didn't raise that issue with him. So, but I just thought it was an interesting plan. So, anyway, that's it for tonight. Thanks.
All set. Councilor Clements?
You should talk last.
Oh, excuse me. Councilor McKenzie?
On that skate park, I'm wondering, is not our recreation director directly involved with this?
Yes.
Does that not make it part of the town responsibility? No.
No. So to answer that question, our recreation director has been working with Aaron, utilizing some part of that $25,000 that the town council had set aside for that park. So yes, the recreation was actually involved in that specific part. The money he's raising for it right now is to create other ramps that him and his friends want to do for the park, but our recreation director nor I have any input. It's really up to him how he spends that money. So, you know, with money we control, we can do things with, and we can say what we're going to do. With money he raises privately, we have no input in theory of what he does with that money, or do we count it or know where it comes from? None of that.
I understand. Thank you.
Councilor, you still have the floor if you wanted to address.
No, I relinquish.
Thank you. Councilor Vecchia?
I have a couple questions to the town manager. The first question is, since January 1st, okay, and we're into July, I'd like to see the unemployment for the school department. They laid off people during the last 6 months, plus they laid off more people, 27 or something, a couple weeks ago. So if you can get me the figure, I'd appreciate it.
I'd be happy to attempt to do that. That comes under their budget money, but I will ask them for a report of any information they give me with regard to that.
Well, they better give you the report.
I'm not saying that, I'm just saying it is under their budget, but I'd be happy to ask them for it.
It's under their budget, but we're paying for it, aren't we?
I'm sorry?
Isn't the council paying for it?
In general, yes, because we give them a lump sum of money every year, so it's perfectly okay to ask for the question. I'm just saying that it is coming under the money we gave them already. So we don't have any say in how they spend it, but we can ask them for it.
I like to know the amount, what it is. I don't want any closed-door government, okay? I'd like to know the unemployment. Isn't the town paying the unemployment?
That's the question. Sort of, but not directly. In other words, we budget a certain amount of money to the school department every year. So it's under their budget. In general, yes, because it's the amount of money the town raises to appropriate to them.
Well,
So-
dig it out. I want to
yes.
see what it is.
Yeah.
Because
I said I'd be happy to answer that
if it's too
question.
much money, we should cut something out of their budget, okay? My second question is, we just went over these legal fees. You stated that the main legal was $160,000?
No, let me get
You
the
said
numbers back.
Capera was about
No,
18,000.
there's three drivers to the legal fees. The bigger costs, those three drivers were the solar negotiations. That turned out to be about $30,000 for solar negotiations. That was one of the big things.
Go ahead.
Police and fire contracts were two of the other larger expenditures.
How much were they?
Police was around 12,000 so far, and fire around 14,440.
Okay, let me ask you a question. How much do these lawyers get an hour? $200, $300?
Yeah, those amounts were set by the town council when they hired the attorneys. But you're right, I think it's 200 for Merrick
Yeah.
O'Connell, a little less for Caprera.
It's a lot less for Caprara than one of
I
those
think
lawyers,
I
about
think it's
300.
$1.50, but I'd have to look at the numbers in my office
Well,
to
I
give you
think
the
it's a
answer.
lot less.
I think it's about $50 less an hour, but I'll check it for you.
All right, so one of these days, I'd like to see a breakdown of the legal fees, okay?
Well, I just gave that to you, the totals for each of the
I want the breakdown, I want to see the amounts. I want a detailed breakdown of the legal fees,
Okay.
okay?
You mean by each particular case or by total firm? What are you
By
asking
total,
for? By total firm.
right, each
Okay.
firm, I want to see
Right,
how
which
much.
is what, I can give it to you right now, I have that in front of me.
You have it for the whole,
I have
excuse
the-
me,
hold on.
excuse me, Miss Manna, okay? You have it for FY 2016
Correct.
for 12 months?
Yeah, I read it out, yes.
12 months. How much was it?
Okay. For Blattman, Bobrowski, Mead, and Tallerman, it was $907.50.
How much?
$907.50.
Go ahead.
That was for Bratman. For Caprera, Rob, it was $18,995.23.
That's for 12 months.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yep.
Up to
For the- At the
date.
annual year. For the annual year, from July 1 till June 30th, 16. That's the fiscal year.
July 1st, 2015.
Right.
That's what I
To-
said.
Correct. It's the full fiscal year out.
Okay, now what about the other one?
Okay. Whew, it's on here. Collins and Lochran and Pelican, that was $3,637.50. They were hired, I guess they closed out some cases, they were here before,
What
they're no
about
longer
the
working.
big locker?
I'm going to do that next. The next one is Merrick O'Connell, it's $116,192.61.
$116,000.
$116,192.61. They obviously do the bulk of our legal work. They did the solar arrangement. They did all the police and
Well-
fire negotiations. They do the bulk of all of our legal work.
Yeah, well, I'm not for them doing the bulk of the work, but I'll have a discussion with you in private about that, okay?
Happy to.
Thank you.
All set,
I'm all
Councilor
set.
Vecchia?
You know,
Councilor McKenzie, you have a question?
No, actually, I made a mistake. When you asked me if I was done with that point, but I wasn't done giving my forum.
You can have it now.
I can? Okay. I'll be brief. First of all, I wanted to thank all the citizens in Southbridge who did vote for me and showing me their confidence in me. And I want them to know that they can contact me anytime if they have any questions, concerns, suggestions, etc. Also, I do believe that, and this is going to be a point that I'm going to be making quite often, and that is that I do believe that we need, as a council, to work together. We need to show kindness. We need to show respect to one another and to people who address the podium. This is extremely important that we show respect for everyone who comes in this building, and we also need to ask for respect in kind.
Through the chair.
Thank you.
Thank you. Councilor O'Clair.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, through you. Just this week, I just want to say congratulations to everybody, to the new faces on the council, as well as to Councilor Carrasco, or Chairman Carrasco, and also Vice Chair Councilor Clements. Congratulations, you both. I look forward to working again with you guys and the new faces together this year to do some really nice things, and that's all I have today.
Thank you. Councilor Estrada.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Congratulations for Councilor Carrasco and Councilor Mana for your re-election, for new one-time position there, Chairman. I'm congratulating for new Councilor McKenzie and Councilor DePetro. Welcome back, welcome home, welcome aboard. I hope that they are working together for the city. My citizen, I remember you my promise. My vote is for you and for yours. one more point for Pastor Carrasco, Pastor Mackenzie, and myself. We cannot forget that God we see this year all the time. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you. Councilor Cummings.
Thank you. A couple of things was at the Senior Center today. Their wonderful first of the month luncheon. And I just want to remind them, it's more than just a luncheon once a month. They do have a wonderful monthly calendar that's put out for all you seniors out there. You don't have to be a member of the senior, you don't have to be a member of the, what do they call themselves? The Senior Center group. You can just be 60 or over and attend anything that's on this calendar. It's on the website, usually on the under Council on Aging. They do everything from exercise 3 times a week, walking clubs. There is lunch that is served daily there by the Tri-Valley with a $3 donation. But once a month, you have the opportunity also to join in with the actual senior group if you choose to participate in their program. There's a Latino program that goes on Tuesdays and Thursdays as well. There's just a lot of great offerings, and I want our seniors to know that the Casabon Senior Center is alive and well, takes place inside of our Southridge Community Center on Chestnut Street, and I hope you get out there and participate because there's a lot being offered for you. There's a new director, and she's been great. They're doing senior bingo, as I said, lots of different things. So you can contact the community center itself, or you can just show up someday and see what's going on there. But I want to encourage it because it's a great group of people that I've met and I've known over the last 7 years. And kudos again to Pat, who always cooks up a wonderful meal for everybody. The other thing is, while it is only July, you've heard of Christmas in July. Well, it's kind of that time of year. For those who aren't familiar and those who are, you see it every year for the past 7 or 8 years now, downtown and beyond. We try to decorate for the holidays. We try to make this community stand out amongst those in the area. And it's alive and well. Holiday Visions, which is what we call the committee now, is actively open for getting things ready here for the holiday season. We're going to be having a working meeting next Wednesday, July 20th, 6 o'clock at the warehouse, which is 64 Mill Street. If you have any questions or concerns, you can contact myself, you can contact Councilor Manna, you can contact the town manager's office, and they'll know how to put you in contact with whoever and answer some questions there too. Most people are in the town hall are pretty familiar with what we do. We need workers. We need some help. Whether you can pick up a paintbrush or push a broom, maybe you're really good at woodworking and you'd like to help fix a few of the things, some of the elves and the wonderful cars and such that may have suffered a little damage last year from being out in the elements. We encourage you to participate, whether it's once or whether it's for weeks on end until we get this done in November and bring Santa to town and celebrate a really wonderful time here with community spirit and all that goes on. I encourage you to participate with that also and show your spirit. You know, it can't be done. Everybody loves it. Everybody tells us each year how great it is, how wonderful our town is, how everything looks great and isn't that wonderful, and they pat us on the back. But, you know, it can be much easier if we have a little bit more help and a lot more could get done. We could make it bigger and better for everybody. So if you've ever been considering it, now's the time. We're going to, as I said, continue workshops at the workshop, so to speak, to get things done so that we can be ready for this year as well. On that one, let's see. The skate park, you mentioned the donation situation. I would point out that if somebody does want to donate money in a different way, maybe they want to donate a larger sum by check perhaps. If you do donate it and you make it out to the town of Southbridge and you earmark it for the skate park, it can be used for that. And then it can be given to a 501(c) directly, and I'm sure at that point our rec director will work with the needs of that skate park. So if I realize, you know, I put money in the bucket when I was at Big Y. If people are looking to make a more generous donation but are concerned at the fact that they're not a 501(c), the town is, and as with other projects, as with the Cops and Kids program, as with other projects that we have solicited for and gotten wonderful help, the lights on the trees, things like that, certainly you can do that. You can make that donation to the town and they'll make sure that the funds get taken care of appropriately. And I encourage that because I'm only hearing good things about the skate park. I want to thank all those who have faith in me here as your vice chair again, and that's it. Next, sorry, that's it for this one.
That's it. Agenda item number 15.
Next meeting date.
25th.
Yes, that's what I The next meeting date will be Monday, July 25th, 7 p.m. here in council chambers. Thank you.
Thank you. Agenda item number 16, adjournment. Show of hands.
All in,
Excuse me, motion, so moved.
So moved, second.
Show of hands. Thank you. Good night.